miniature golf. Then off to a penny arcade. Then he takes me to this Yugoslavian restaurant and insists that I guess what the goat is stuffed with. Unfortunately, I was right.
He sounds like a winner. Rhoda, where do you come up with him?
When you're hot, you're hot.
Listen, if you've been gone all that time, how come I didn't get more work done?
Well, it's only 8:30, kid.
Well, then how did you get that much done?
We started out at 3 o'clock this afternoon. You had a flight out tonight.
Oh, I didn't know you were dating a pilot.
He's not a pilot. Mary, he's a stewardess.
Rhoda, they're called stewards.
I'm no sexist. Delicious coffee, man. There must be 100 papers here. Looks like a letter from my mother.
No, it's a big annual meeting with the station manager. Mr. Grant and I have a lot to get ready.
Yeah.
Oh, boy, I hate those meetings.
You never used to.
Yeah, well, it used to be I felt I could be myself. Now I feel I represent women everywhere.
Oh, Mary, that's all in your head.
Oh, yeah? What would you say if the station manager kept trotting in groups of people and saying, "This is our woman executive"?
What do you say?
Oh, usually, hi. Hey, kid, aren't you going to the meeting?
Is the Pope Catholic? I'm sure he is. I don't think the last one was, though. Say, Mayor, why'd you think I wasn't going to the meeting?
Oh, I don't know. I guess it's the way you're dressed.
This year, I'm not going to dress up. You want to know the reason why? I'll tell you why. The only reason you dress up for a meeting is if you're insecure.
Yeah, I don't think it makes any difference what you wear to the meeting.
Neither do I. I think I'll change.
Why are you so concerned about what he's going to wear?
Well, when you're Ted Baxter, you've got to hope that your clothes look intelligent.
Hey, Murray, Gordy, would you say that I'm doing, as good a job as the guy who was the associate producer before me?
Better.
Oh, much better.
Yeah, he was terrible.
Yeah.
Well, then, how come he was making $50 a week more than I do?
Well, how do you know he was?
Well, because I was just going over the old budget for the meeting, and here it is. He made $50 a week more. $50.
Yeah. Find anything interesting?
Yes. Mr. Grant, look, I'm going to try not to, I was just sitting at my desk, and, I don't know how I could work here for...
You know, I really feel confident about that meeting with Stoneham today. We had a pretty good year. Got a list of awards here that we won. Okay, they're Mickey Mouse awards, but he doesn't know that. All right, the ratings haven't been so...
I don't believe this.
What?
I'm upset, and you're just ignoring it.
Well, I figured it was just one of those woman things.
No, Mr. Grant, it's not one of those woman things. I would like to know why the last associate producer before me made $50 a week more than I do.
Oh, because he was a man.
Let me get this straight. The only reason he was paid more than I am is because he was a man?
Oh, sure, it has nothing to do with your work.
Wait, no, wait a minute, because I really want to understand this. I'm doing as good a job as he did.
Better.
And I'm being paid less than he was because...
You're a woman.
Well, Mr. Grant, there is no good reason why two people doing the same job at the same place shouldn't be making the same...
He had a family to support. You don't. Now, why don't you come back when you have an answer to that?
Because financial need has nothing to do with it. Because in order to be consistent with what you're saying, you would have to pay the man with 3 children more than the man with 2 children. And the married man more than the bachelor. And Mr. Grant, you don't do that. So what possible reason can you give me for not paying me at least as much as the man who had this job before me?
Say, Lou.
Yes, Ted.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know you were busy.
Oh, we're not. We're not. Come on in, Ted.
Oh, hey, it's not important. I was just deciding what to wear for the meeting. That's all.
Well, I was a little worried about what you'd wear too, Ted.
You were?
Oh, absolutely. Well, let's see. Well, what you're wearing looks good to me.
Well, I thought so too at first, but now I think it's neither fish or nuts. You know what I mean?
Huh?
I'm gonna go change.
Mr. Grant?
I'll help you.
It's so early, I'm sure nobody wants a drink.
I wouldn't mind.
Oh, let's see. That's scotch, right?
Right.
Now, before we get started, there's a question I'd like to ask Ted. Yes, Jack? Ted, why are you wearing sneakers? Oh. Well, the reason for that is that
Look, Jack, I've got a lot to do, and I'd like to make this session a quickie. Unless, of course, your compliments take time.
Lou, we've got major trouble. We have to make our news more informal.
Listen, I'm not going to fire Gordy and hire back that dippy weather girl with her colored crayons. Remember her? Mr. Sun is not smiling today.
I wish it were that simple, Lou. I'm talking about a whole new format here. Our news has to be more entertaining.
Now I know what you mean. Get a group of guys together to do funny feature stories. Have them kid around with each other a lot. Have them laugh a lot.
That's right.
That's rotten.
That's one opinion. Let's hear from someone else. Mary, you're always so quiet in these meetings.
Oh, no, I'm not always so quiet.
What?
No, I'm not always so quiet.
Good. I'd like to hear your opinion on this.
It'll be the same as mine.
Is it, Mary?
No. Well, it isn't.
Go ahead.
Well, I just don't think that there's anything wrong with trying to make the news more in an entertaining way.
Exactly.
We're talking about news here. News. Our job isn't to make people laugh. It's to let them know what's happening. I can live with ratings. When I was an editor, I used to live with circulation numbers. But when the circulation went down, we didn't put the comics on the front page. News is truth, Jack. And I'm not going to make it into something fake.
Why not?
Why not?
Well, after all, Lou, there's fake and then there's fake. Anyway, I think the idea Mary brought up is an interesting one. And I agree with it. So I think we better start working on that new format. Oh, I'm sorry, Ted. We haven't heard from Ted yet. Ted?
The reason I'm wearing tennis shoes is because I've got a lot of running around to do today.
Mr. Grant, you shouldn't be here.
Why not?
Well, for one thing, the news has been on for 15 minutes.
You're right. I shouldn't just sit here while my show is on the air. Pat, turn on the set.
Look, Mr. Grant, I just wanted to say that I'm not mad anymore, and I hope you're not either.
You don't have anything to be mad about. I do.
I guess we'll see that film as soon as the film people have it ready. We're having some technical problems, so I'll just go right on to the next story. Just a minute. I seem to have lost my place.
Pat, turn off the set.
Is that the format you're so anxious to hang on to? Okay, you're mad at me because I disagreed with you in the meeting.
No, I'm mad at you because you sold me out for $50 a week.
Mr. Grant, if you really believe that, then we have nothing to talk about.
Then we have nothing to talk about.
Oh, I think we have something to talk about, all right. You better believe we have something to talk, and sliding away isn't going to help. I don't sell people out, especially you.
Especially me.
That's right, especially you.
Why especially me?
Because I love you.
Look, we can't have a fight if you say things like that.
But I do care about you.
Mary?
And I know you care about me,
Okay,
too.
okay, the fight's over. You win.
I don't understand why you're so against having newsmen be a little less formal on the air.
Oh, you mean like Channel 6?
Yes, like Channel 6.
Pat, turn on Channel 6.
Give it a chance, it might work.
Oh, more on that killer typhoon later. Weatherman Jerry Williams can never get his galoshes unbuckled. And now, with a special report on belly dancing in the Twin Cities, roving reporter Jess Hawkins, who is now inserting a zircon in his navel.
Pat, turn off Channel 6.
I didn't say we had to go that far.
That's one of the highest-rated news shows in town.
I am sure that Mr. Stoneham meant
Oh, listen here, Mary. If Jack Stoneham thought it meant ratings, he'd have us wear funny hats and drink out of dribble glasses. Read this.
To Lou Grant from Jack Stoneham, some thoughts regarding our new format. I think the key element is to make it appear that our news team likes and enjoys each other away from work.
Skip down, skip down.
This spirit can be achieved.
Skip.
Lou, I can understand.
Skip.
So I suggest
That's
suggest that you delegate most of the responsibility to someone who thinks like I do, Mary
I'd like to help you, Mary. But I just don't know how to make it appear that anybody likes and enjoys Ted Baxter.
Mr. Grant, I've been thinking about that. I mean, most of these news teams have 2 anchormen. So really, all we have to find is somebody warm and endearing enough to balance Ted.
I don't think Bobby Fischer wants to do television.
I was thinking about Gordy.
Gordy.
Yeah.
Yeah. They complement each other perfectly. One's sharp, one's dull. One's black, one's gray.
And one's not Ted.
That's it. I guess somebody's gonna have to tell Ted that he's gonna have to give up half the show.
And I guess you want me to do that.
No, why should you get all the dirty work? I'll do it. Let's go.
Fire is still raging through the warehouse on Bank Street. Firefighters are desperately attempting to stop the blaze. Before it threatens nearby oil storage tanks. Fire officials estimate the damage could well climb into several millions of dollars. A senorita visits Minneapolis. That story right after these messages. Hey, Lewis, how you doing, pal? Lou?
Ted, we'll try not to cut your pay when we do it.
Do what?
We're gonna have 2 anchormen from now on.
That means I'll do less.
That's it.
2 anchormen, eh? Well, if you think you're going to have two anchormen on this show, then you can get yourself another boy to take over right now.
20 seconds.
Okay. Gordy,
Yeah, Lou.
10 seconds.
I wonder if you'd do me a favor.
Sure.
Ted just quit.
Huh?
I wonder if you'd mind finishing the show tonight.
Oh, not at all.
Okay, he was just about to start the Lopez story.
Okay. This is Gordon Howard filling in for the vacationing Ted Baxter. Senorita Elena Lopez, daughter of Mayor Enrique Lopez of Minneapolis' sister city, Santiago, Chile, arrived in the... Thank you very much, Gordo, for taking over for me. While I went to the bathroom.
Mary! Mary? Terrific news. Come on down if it won't depress you. Now, what terrific news could you possibly have that would not depress me? Mary, you have to leave notes. I automatically drop by every day to see what terrific thing happened to you that did not happen to me. So will you please tell me?
Okay, you know the place in the news where they say, and now, speaking for the management of WJM-TV.
Yeah, that's when I take out the garbage.
Well, guess who is speaking for the management tonight?
You're kidding.
Yeah.
How come?
Well, our new format begins tonight, see? And the general manager always hated doing the editorials himself anyway, and, well, he's been under a lot of pressure to use women on the air, so...
Mary, it's just incredible, kid.
Yeah.
Aren't you nervous?
No, I guess I've been so busy with the new format, I just haven't had time to be nervous.
Yeah, how is that anyway? Is it gonna bomb?
No, I don't think so. You know, I mean, I'm not saying it's going to be great, but I'm really pretty sure it's going to be really not awful.
That good, huh? With old Ted Baxter?
Well, see, the main thing is that Ted is not trying to do anything entertaining. You know, he's not trying to be funny. He's not trying to have any personality.
Sounds great so far.
Yeah, but we are getting all of that from Gordy. It was my idea. I mean, he is just terrific. He's relaxed, he's funny, he's entertaining, and so, well, the whole net result is really not awful.
Great. But how did you ever convince Ted to be a straight man?
Oh, well, see, he doesn't know that that's what he is. I mean, all week long during rehearsals, we've been complimenting him on his new jacket, and that seems to satisfy him.
Big night.
Yes,
Looks good.
right.
Good luck.
Thanks.
Ted, takes a big man to do what you're doing.
Well, I always... Just exactly what is it you're referring to that it takes a big man to do?
Well, I've been watching rehearsals all week, and I think it's great the way you've been letting Gordy kid around with you. I realize that being a straight man is a thankless job, and I thank you for it.
Straight man?
Ted, did I tell you how great you look in your new jacket?
That won't work anymore, Mary. Thanks.
Ted, I'm sure that Mr. Stoneham...
As I was just saying to Ted,
Ted, I'm sure what you meant by
I
straight
think
man...
you're going to be the hottest thing to happen to news in this town. Good luck.
Thank you. We'll see about that.
Ted, please, no.
10 seconds.
Ted,
Get out of my way, Mayor. I've got personality, too.
Ted, you don't.
Think you're pretty good, eh, Gordo? Well, we'll see who's the funny guy around here. We're on the air, Ted. I know that.
Well, we're off to a great start. Lou, have you got 2 glasses?
I've only got one glass, Murray, but don't worry. I don't think I'll be using a glass tonight.
In Washington, the president, while addressing a convention of Polish-American businessmen, announced his long-awaited economic reform policy. Say, that reminds me, I heard a great new Polish joke today. You see, this Polish guy came home to his Polish wife. Massive freeway tie-up occurred when a man, dressed in a bunny suit, on his way home from an all-night costume party, got out of his car to change a tire. Hey, I wonder if a cop came along and made him hop a straight line.
I don't think that's funny.
Another development in Washington today, the president signed into law...
Hey, wait a minute. That's the president's story. That's mine. I think I'm supposed to do that, Gertie.
What's the difference, Ted? I've already started it.
But then it's a president's story. I was here first, and I always get the president's story. Gertie and I often kid around like that.
What is this, Lou? Bourbon or scotch?
Scotch.
I wonder what Mary wanted.
Probably wanted to see how we liked your new format.
And that's our look at the newest resident of the Como Park Zoo. I've been handed this bulletin. The management of WJM-TV extends its sincere apologies to Polish Americans in the hopes they will overlook a remark made earlier in this newscast.
What remark?
We'll be back with further apologies following this brief commercial.
Sure, this is scotch, Lou. Tastes like bourbon.
It is. We ran out of scotch 10 minutes ago.
And now, speaking for the management of WJM-TV, Mary Richards. And I'm sure after you see her, you'll understand why I say, Mary, I don't know what it is you're for or against, but whatever it is, I'm with you.
Thank you, Gordy. We'd like to speak out tonight for population control. Between the years 1932 and 1978, the population of the world will have doubled.
That should do something for our ratings, eh, Mayor?
Population experts agree that if growth continues at this rate, world population will reach 7 billion by the year 2000.
Hey, I think I'll go into the diaper business.
Which points to a disaster of global importance.
Oh, come on, Mayor, don't be such a gloomy Gus.
The management of WJM feels that television can play a critical role in the control of population growth.
Well, sure it
Television
can.
has
As long as they're watching the old tube, they can't make the population grow, can they?
Television has a responsibility.
Get it, Mayor?
Will you shut up, Ted?
Mary, did I just hear right? Did I just hear Mary tell Ted to shut up on the air?
Yeah.
Good. More telegrams, huh? Let's see. Telegrams from the Polish American Society of the Greater Twin Cities area. Telegrams from Zero Population Growth. And a telegram from the FCC.
Mr. Grant, I'm sorry.
You know, Mary, I've been thinking, and there is no reason why you should be making $50 a week less than the person who had that job before. So, I'm raising you $25 a week.
Well, Mr. Grant, I'm not sure you fully understand the principle involved here. I mean...
The whole $50, huh?
Right.
Okay, I'll try and get you $50 a week more.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Grant.
Why are you giving a $50 a week raise to someone who told me to shut up on the air?
It's all I can afford, Ted.